Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zeng here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Rank, where I climb the online VGC 18 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. So, if you haven't seen yesterday's episode, we featured a brand new Trick Room Hail team, which I wanted to create and use because I know you guys are interested in seeing more innovative Pokemon on strategies that we haven't seen as much of in VGC 2018. Trick Room Hail has been one of my favorite strategies to use, going all the way back to VGC 2009 and 2012, so I figured I'd make a slightly updated version, as I mentioned, and yesterday's episode was really fun, so hopefully we get more fun games, and hopefully I get to feature the Staraptor and the Glaceon, because they didn't make an appearance yesterday. So, we are going to find our first opponent of the day, running a really interesting team, and maybe Staraptor and Glaceon can actually make an appearance here, especially Glaceon, we'll see. As always, if you guys enjoy Road to Rank, please share support by leaving a like in the video, I'd really appreciate it. It's going to be Whimsicott, Terrakion, Tapu Koko, Incineroar, the Charizard, and the Landorus. So, this is really interesting. This is interesting for so many reasons. Staraptor, the Terrakion thing. I want to bring Glaceon so badly, guys. I really do. And I'd love to bring both the Bombsnow and Glaceon. And I'm really tempted to. It's just, I don't have a great answer. So the Whimsicott Terrakion combination is interesting because there's obviously the beat up strategy where you just beat up and then Terrakion's attack gets really high. That actually isn't too much of an issue with Mimikyu, but Incineroar is probably a safer lead. I think I'll go Incineroar, Mimikyu. Snorlax is probably the better, more consistent pick. But I haven't featured Glaceon at all, and I feel like if there's a game to do so, it might be this one. Because my opponent only has the Incineroar for the resist. And I do have my own Incineroar as well. So I'm leading my Incineroar to get the initial fake out off. Whimsicott, one thing that's good to note is that it's normally a really passive Pokemon, so it doesn't do any damage. So you can typically play your way around it. If my opponent doesn't lead the Whimsicott, then I should be able to get Trick Room up relatively safely. So let's see. I wanted to consider Staraptor, but there are a lot of mind games, especially if my opponent does go with Whimsicott. And yeah, it's going to be Whimsicott Terrakion coming out. Okay. So the obvious play here really is to just fake out Whimsicott and Trick Room. Yeah. Unless Terrakion has like Roar or Taunt. I don't even remember if it gets Roar. I think it gets Taunt. Yeah, but I'm gonna hope that Terrakion can't stop Mimikyu from setting up Trick Room, because if Trick Room goes out, that's so good for me. No switch outs, okay, no protects. Whimsicott flinches, and it's a Z move coming out, but I'll take that. That's a Rock Z move. Interesting. I was not expecting to lose my Incineroar this turn, but it does mean a free switch in. However, it does mean dealing with my opponent's potential Incineroar in the back is going to be really tough. So, Continental Crunch Terrakion. Crush, not Crunch. I assume this knocks out Incineroar at -1, unless it's boosted off Rock Slide and not Stone Edge. I actually do survive. Whoa. Okay. And I do get Trick Room up. So, I gotta be worried about getting taunted right now. Or, sorry, encored. I am worried about eating up a Rock Slide as well. But I do want to conserve Incineroar if possible. Now, one play I could make is actually doubling up into Terrakion, but it could easily protect. If I'm my opponent, it comes down to what Whimsicott has. I want to Z-move the Whimsicott because it means I don't get encored and I get an attack off even through it. I kind of want to double up onto Terrakion if possible, honestly. But it might protect. Okay, I'm going to Z-move the Whimsicott and low-kick the Terrakion. That's a relatively safe play that covers more or less all my options. Terrakion switches out, which means Incineroar actually probably survives the turn. And it's Incineroar coming in from my opponent's end, which is quite good, because it is going to eat up a low-kick. Now, I don't do too much damage with that low-kick, but any damage against Incineroar is good damage. Yep, so there is the Encore. And it is going to target down the Mimikyu, as I suspected. The only downside is I don't knock out Whimsicott, but that might not actually be too bad, given that it's Whimsicott. And it doesn't do much damage. So I will get the Z move through the Protect, or sorry, through the Encore, which is why I went for it, because if I don't go for the Z move there, and my opponent does have Encore, and I didn't know at that point, because Whimsicott's a Pokemon where you literally just never know its full moveset, you have to play around it. So to be honest, I probably would have preferred for my Incineroar to have fainted, so I would have gotten a free switching, because this is not the best use of the first turn to Trick Room, but it's also not the worst. As, yeah, I don't really knock out the Whimsicott there, but that's okay. So, with this next turn, I'm gonna... actually think I'm gonna double switch here. I might eat a Flare Blitz onto something, though, which would make me sad. But it seems like the best play. And if my opponent fakes out, that would be incredible. So, I finally, hopefully, can get Glaceon out, and then... like, yeah, Incineroar obviously puts on some pressure, but if it doesn't get a knockout here this turn and, like, doesn't Flare Blitz, then both my Ice types can come in, and I can just Bam Blizzard, which would be quite nice. So, let's see. Can Glaceon... Glaceon's out on the field. Let's see if he survives the turn. That's the first question. And now I can bring in my Incineroar next turn for Intimidate. So, my first question is whether my opponent's Incineroar Flare Blitz is here or not. Whimsicott swaps out. That's not too surprising. It's going to be Charizard coming in. That's actually kind of bad, I just realized, because of the way the speeds work. And Incineroar does just opt for a knockoff into Mega Bomb Snow. Okay, good. Yeah, because I'm going to Mega Evolve first, which is not great. Do I want to gamble here? Yeah, the issue here is I'm gonna waste too many turns of Trick Room too quickly. Protecting Charizard here is really safe though, so I could like protect Glaceon, switch out into Incineroar, and then bring a Bomb Snow back in. I think that's actually what I'm gonna go for. Yeah, the Charizard switching in there was like the safest play, unfortunately for me. So this could be going better because I'm wasting my Trick Room too much now. Ideally, Charizard protects this turn and Mega Evolves. Ooh, it doesn't Mega Evolve, so that means it's probably protecting, yeah. Where does Incineroar target? Flare Blitz into Glaceon. Okay. That's good. The reason why that's good is because now I can low kick my opponent's Incineroar, which actually should knock it out. Yeah. Low kick into Incineroar and just attack with Glaceon. Alternatively, I could double up into a Charizard. But Incineroar is just such a big threat to me. Yeah, I'm just going to Ice Beam Charizard and low kick the Incineroar. Incineroar might swap out here, but it doesn't look like it is. Nice decision not to Mega Evolve last turn. That was a good call on my opponent's end. Trying to bait out my potential Mega Evolution. This is going to be a really close finish, I think. The main fear is that I do know that the Whimsicott does have Encore. No Protect from Incineroar. This low kick should knock it out. Oh, it doesn't. Dang, Incineroar is bulky. That's not good. That's not good at all. That's really bad for me. I thought surely low kick gets the knockout there. Ice Beam does so much damage. Alright, so Flare Blitz comes out. Probably going to target down Glaceon. It does mean it takes a lot of recoil, but it had the berry. That really sucks, man. Incineroar is just... I mean, yeah, low kick I guess doesn't do the most damage against it either. And it's going to be a Heat Wave from Charizard, yep. However, this actually means I could get another Trick Room up. Yeah, because I'm going to bring in a Abomasnow and Mimikyu. Also, like, me protecting this turn with the Abomasnow is so obvious, I could just go for a Blizzard. The only downside is maybe I should have actually saved my Z move. Because now I can get Encored. The safest play... What's the safest play for my opponent right now? Switch out Charizard into Whimsicott and Flare Blitz Abomasnow. Not sure I have any counterplay to that. Oh, I would if because I have Ice Shard. So I'm going to protect in Trick Room, and then I can maybe Ice Shard the Whimsicott to prevent it from encoring me. Yep, there's a switch. Okay. This is so intense. Alright, alright, alright. We're still in this. Knock off into Mimikyu. That's kind of frustrating because I feel like Flare Blitz is just a safer play, but I guess my opponent, like, it was pretty obvious I would protect there. Okay. Oh, Incineroar's faster than me under Trick Room. That's bad too. Because now you surely just Flare Blitz, which means I should lose, but maybe Mimikyu can pull this out by itself. I'm gonna Mega Evolve Ice Shard. Play rough. Maybe I should have, actually any combination of attacks could have won me the game there. Yeah, like, it's frustrating that my opponent didn't Flare Blitz there. Maybe I'm actually okay getting Encored here, though. Maybe I should have just... I would have knocked out Incineroar anyway, though. So I should knock out the Whimsicott, but I think I get Flare Blitzed here. Yeah. Wait, did that target Mimikyu? What? Okay, you're gonna have to explain that one to me. I don't understand that play. Unless maybe my opponent didn't have... Well, it did have Encore. We already knew that. I mean, that might have just won me the game. This is crazy. Okay, so it's going to be Terrakion. We know it's by the Roxy move. We know it's used it already. I've got Play Rough. I've got Energy Ball. Terrakion wants to Rock Slide here, probably. A Heat Wave will knock both of my Pokemon out. I don't think a Rock Slide will. I want to just Energy Ball and Shadow Claw, but that doesn't... I don't know if Energy Ball one-shots Terrakion. I feel like it probably does, though. Yeah, my opponent kind of threw this game, though. I don't know. I think, like, if you Flare Blitz Abomasnow, you just win. Okay, Charizard protects, so let's see if Energy Ball can one-shot Terrakion. Otherwise, I should have doubled up into Terrakion. And I considered it. I just feel like Energy Ball should. Nice. I'm not too happy about this win, though, because it did take a little bit of a misplay from my opponent to really get back into this. I don't understand the decision not to Flare Blitz Mega Abomasnow there. And I think I probably lose. I mean, it then becomes a 2v1 with Mimikyu, and I mean, I actually maybe potentially could have won. It would have come down to how much Play Rough does against Terrakion, and whether I called the Protect on my opponent's end, but now I just win the game guaranteed. So, yeah, I was expecting it to be a super uphill battle where I had to make a couple of good predictions in a row in the late game. And, yeah, the other question is whether Play Rough can one-shot Terrakion. I don't think it does, but if for some reason it did, then it came down to like a 50-50 on who would Protect on the last turn. So, yeah, we ended up getting a win, but this was a very sloppy win in my opinion. Because basically I was put in a position where I could have lost guaranteed if my opponent made what I considered to be the safest play. Now, yeah, the other issue is that the Incineroar was still slower than Mimikyu, even under Trick Room. Had that not been the case, like had it been maybe like a speedier Incineroar, because I am min speed Mimikyu, then I would have been able to just knock it out, and I would have been in a perfect position. Like, I wouldn't have even have worried about a Flare Blitz from the Incineroar. So, yeah, I am not very pleased about that, because I think, like, overall, I didn't play the best. And the main issue was that I did not expect Incineroar to hang on from the low kick as well as it did. And it had the berry, too, so that was, like, the worst-case scenario. Because if it doesn't hang on there, then I get the Ice Beam off, I get Mimikyu and Abomasnow in, and I have Hail Control, and then Abomasnow's an Ice Shard KO range, the Terrakion's an Energy Ball KO range, etc. So, yeah, that was kind of a miscalculation on my end. I should get used to Incineroar damage calcs a little bit more. Could have potentially doubled up in Charizard in that position. I wanted to aggressively target down Incineroar because Incineroar does give my team a fair amount of trouble. And I should have considered that a little bit more in team building. It's kind of funny because I have my own Incineroar. But, yeah, like, my team, like, has answers against it. My own Incineroar for Intimidate. A Staraptor can potentially Final Gambit it. Snorlax can one-shot it through a combination, or most of its attacks, like Double Edge, Self-Destruct, or High Horsepower. But ultimately, it's not exactly the greatest matchup either, and I can't shut it down like with a Will-O-Wisp from Mimikyu, which is my best answer against physical type attackers. So, yeah, I mean, otherwise reflecting on that game, the Charizard came in at like the perfect time. Like, turn 1 was great, obviously. especially because I hung on, although I would have preferred probably not to hang on in that position, because then if I don't hang on there, what that allows me to do is just Blizzard and Z-move the Terrakion, which is really good for me. I knock out Whimsicott, do a ton of damage. Charizard's just difficult to face in general, but yeah, you know, it's not every day you see Abomasnow and Glaceon take down Charizard, I guess. Next opponent of the day is going to be running a pretty standard team: Crest, Coco, Metagross, Amoonguss, Incineroar, and Zapdos. So I would like to bring Glaceon once again. I really would. I think Incineroar probably comes out. I mean, my Incineroar just seems way too good not to lead here with Mimikyu. Yeah, that just seems like a mistake if I don't. And I think I'm probably going to go Snorlax and Abomasnow again, unfortunately. It's just really tough bringing Staraptor in against all these different Incineroar teams. There are just so many Incineroars. So maybe I can replace Staraptor for something that gives me a slightly better matchup against like what we faced against previously. And ban Lax is just way too good not to bring here either. So, yeah. Okay, I'm actually trying to remember, I think I intentionally made Snorlax not min speed so that I could outspeed Amoonguss outside of the Trick Room, if it's min speed Amoonguss. But I do have Abomasnow, which deals with Amoonguss really nicely, because you can't Spore me. A Blizzard, I don't think one-shots it, but it does a ton of damage. So let's see how this game goes. It's going to be Zapdos and Incineroar. Well, I'll take that. Yeah, I think I probably need a better counter against Incineroar, because it's just annoying to go up against. It's not like, you know, the strongest option, but it's just not fun playing against, because it does mean it prevents me from bringing Glaceon as much as I could. So I could bring a Pokemon that could, you know, threaten Incineroar immensely, then maybe it could clear the way for Glaceon a little bit better. Either way here, I should be able to get Trick Room up. I think I want to swap my Incineroar out here, probably. Yeah, I think I'm going to go out into Snorlax immediately. And Trick Room. And potentially just explode the following turn. If somehow my opponent let me get the self-destruct off, I would knock out both Pokemon. If I don't get knocked off here. So Snorlax comes out. There's a Fake Out. Yep, it's fine. And there's Roar and Zapdos. Okay, so that explains a little bit. Slightly frustrating. Hopefully my Incineroar comes back out, and it actually does, which is quite nice. So I know the Zapdos has Roar. I really could just... You would think my opponent's Incineroar is going to want to switch out. Who would you switch out into? You also could just want to knock off my Snorlax. So I could Fake Out, like, high horsepower the Incineroar right now. Nothing can really Fake Out high horsepower really well, other than Crest. But then you're switching in Crest against an Incineroar. Yeah, I just think it might stay in because it might want to knock me off, thinking that I guess Zapdos has Roar anyway. But it stays in. That's great, especially if I connect the high horsepower. So Zapdos just Thunderbolts. That's fine. Against AV Incineroar, it doesn't do that much. It does paralyze me, which kind of sucks. Alright, please don't miss. Okay, nice. That should get the knockout, I think. Banded high horsepower. Excellent. Okay, that's good. And my opponent's probably thinking like, wow, that's like a really strong Snorlax. Well, maybe he doesn't expect it to be banded yet. So that's a great turn for me, because that also paves the way for Abomasnow a little bit more. The paralysis is slightly unfortunate, but you gotta deal with it. Probably gonna have to swap Snorlax out here. Although it is Metagross coming in, so you could actually make an argument for staying in. It's tempting. It really is. I think I actually will stay in here with Lax and just high horsepower Metagross and swap Incineroar out into Abomasnow. I'm willing to sacrifice Abomasnow should my opponent target it to get a free switch him back into Incineroar. I could also get up Trick Room if I have my Incineroar and Mimikyu at the same time to Fake Out Zapdos, prevent the Roar, and Trick Room. Yeah, there's no way Band High Horsepower knocks out Metagross, but it probably does. Ideally it does like 80%. Hail brings it down to like, 84%. Sorry, that's not. It does 80%. Hail brings it down another 6%, so it's at 14%. I guess Ice Shard still wouldn't knock out in that range. We'll see. Maybe 2 ticks of Hail. So Abomasnow will come in now. Don't forget I do have the Z move as well on Mimikyu, as Metagross actually protects. Okay, so unless my opponent Heat Waves here, that's fine. Yeah, he just Thunderbolts. Okay, into Lax, which is a good play. Nice decision not to Mega Evolve there. Does conserve the... does conserve the... Clear Body. I'm really contemplating a double switch right now into Incineroar and Mimikyu so I could get Trick Room up. Because Trick Room would win me this game. Because I think you Thunderbolt and... You double up onto the Lax slot, I would think. Maybe I eat a Heat Wave up. Heat Wave would be the downside, I guess. So it's like, do you double up into Lax or not? I could also play kind of risky and just stay in with the Bomb Snow, but I think if you have Heat Wave, you go for it here. I want to switch, but now I don't have enough time to do so. This is really risky. I don't agree with what I made, but I just... High Horsepower and Blizzarded, which I think is a pretty terrible play. The only way this works is if my opponent doesn't Heat Wave and Thunderbolt and Iron Head Snorlax. Or if I survive Heat Wave. I don't think I do, though. There's an Iron Head. Target's a Bomb Snow, interesting enough. And a Z move. Okay. You know, that's actually not too bad. I doubt I hang on, but if I somehow hung on that, I'd probably just win the game right there. But that does mean I get a Blizzard off if I don't get flinched, and I get a free switch in into Incineroar. Don't know if Blizzard knocks out Zapdos. It'll be close. Yeah, so there's a Gigavolt into the Snorlax. And I survived with 1 HP. Are you kidding me? No way. And I just realized Metagross didn't even Mega Evolve, so I actually get the knockout. I get a crit there, but I don't think it would matter because Blizzard plus Hail would have not gotten the knockout. But this means Blizzard becomes single target too. Oh my gosh, that's definitely gonna get the knockout. Yeah, dude, ban Metagross. I mean, ban Snorlax is a beast. Wow. Yeah, the Metagross not Mega Evolving either turn, which makes a ton of sense, honestly. But I can just bring in Incineroar for Fake Out, and then switch out maybe to Mimikyu. It's Coco as the last one, which is great to see as well. Especially because I know my opponent Z moved. That's really wild. Yeah, I mean, the turn ended up literally being the best case scenario, because when I made the play, I was like, oh, this is not good. I think what I wanted to do was switch out into Incineroar and go for the Blizzard, which ideally knocks out Zapdos, but the Metagross did Mega Evolve, so yeah, the fact I hung on there, that was huge. I am shocked by that, but I'm just going to try to Fake Out in Blizzard here. Yeah. And Mimikyu still has its Disguise, so I've got the Z. I can just Trick Room pretty much. Yeah, my opponent just ends up forfeiting, which means I probably will play a third game, but I don't know. Both of the games today were like, what is going on? That first game definitely I was not happy about because I think I should have lost. And but those are games where it's really good to reflect on because it's like, okay, I ended up winning even though I should have lost. So let me, like, one, that's good because I at least played myself out of a situation where I probably should have lost. But two, it's like, okay, what did I do wrong to be at the point where my opponent could have beaten me? Right, and so with that game, it was like a bunch of just not the best predictions on my end, I would say. And yeah, I mean, bringing Glaceon into the matchup also isn't exactly the best idea, I guess, but I really wanted to feature it. I would not advise doing that in, like, competitive tournament play, but I just figured, okay, this is a decent game for Glaceon to shine. The only downside was that my opponent had Trick Room up, and so if I Mega Evolve, I would Mega Evolve first, and then my opponent would get the Sun up. So that was the only downside. So I didn't get to feature Glaceon. Like, Glaceon didn't do what it was supposed to do, which was just spam Blizzard, because it would, you know, because I had to face the Charizard. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I could have made Glaceon shine a little bit more in that match too. Just didn't play it too well. But gonna be a 1500 opponent from Japan for our third game, running a Gardevoir team. So once again, Incineroar. Incineroar is literally on every team, which just, yeah, I just can't feature Staraptor or Glaceon nearly as much because of it, which frustrates me to no end. I expect Incineroar to come out as a lead, surely. Incineroar plus Gardevoir, maybe? I mean, quite frankly, my Incineroar is a good option here. I gotta go Incineroar, Mimikyu, Abomasnow once again. You know, Glaceon, you actually could make a decent argument for, but Snorlax is just better in every way, I think, unfortunately. Especially with Ban Fire Punch. I'm sorry, guys. I won with Glaceon, but it didn't feature it as well as I would have liked to. Staraptor, in theory, was really good, but just too many Incineroars. I think we've played one like every game. Yeah, so maybe I'll drop Staraptor for something like gives Incineroar more trouble and can potentially just one-shot it. I'm trying to think of what good Incineroar counters could be, are like a little bit less meta. I'll think about it. It's gonna be Feeny Incineroar. Okay, I kind of anticipated this from my opponent's end. It's not the best for me. Definitely not ideal. Maybe Staraptor actually would have been decent here. Okay. So it should be Misty Terrain, my opponent's Intimidate, and then my Intimidate. Yep. And I do have Knockoff, which obviously could get rid of the Feeny's item. I think here what I'm actually going to do, though, is swap my Incineroar directly out into Snorlax and just Trick Room. Because then I threaten Feeny so much under Trick Room. And I've already baited the Intimidate out from my opponent's Incineroar, which is the main thing. And my Incineroar is really important against Gardevoir, Amoonguss, and Celesteela. And my opponent has to have at least one of those in the back. Yep, there's the Fake Out. And maybe a Calm Mind? Just a Muddy Water. Okay, that's fine too. No Accuracy Drop, please. Accuracy Drop on a Self-Destruct Snorlax would be so sad. Yeah, I'm thick fat too, so you can see how I can survive that so well. Doesn't look like any Accuracy Drops. Yeah. Nice, and I get Trick Room up. Okay, that's good. So Feeny here really could protect. So I could choose to Double Edge instead of self-destructing. See, if you're my opponent, though, you've got to be worried about Belly Drum. I think I'm actually going to self-destruct to get the free switch in. And I'm going to... I think Incineroar, if anything, is more likely to switch out. Maybe I shouldn't self-destruct. I'm going to go against it. I'm going to Double Edge, actually. And Shadow Claw the Incineroar swap. I don't know. If both Pokemon stay in, nothing. I could have self-destructed. Oh well. Wow. Is that buried? Okay, thank God it's not buried. Yeah, so self-destruct there actually probably would have just won the game instantly. I didn't want to risk it though, because I thought Incineroar switching out there was just such a safe and obvious play. While Feeny protects. But that might be Specs Feeny. I don't think so though. Doesn't look like it. Okay. That's fine. Getting rid of Incineroar means my my Abomasnow can thrive a lot better in this match now. As Celesteela does come in, okay. So this is where it's Misty Seed as well, which is good to know. Yeah, I mean, I really want to just swap out into my Incineroar. I think I'll... I don't know if Double Edge knocks out. It's the only turns of Trick Room are left too. I gotta be aware of that. There's still 3 turns. I don't know who's faster between Celesteela and Mimikyu. I am Mint Speed though, so I presume me. So I want to just Double Edge and Will-O-Wisp, but I could miss Will-O-Wisp. So it's probably a little bit better to Double Edge the Feeny and switch out into Incineroar, which can take a Muddy Water easily with the Assault Vest. And my accuracy is lower too. Yeah, actually, because of the lowered accuracy, I really shouldn't be Will-O-Wisping there. So, ideally, Psycho and Intimidates. Yeah, I mean, I'm frustrated because if I self-destructed last turn, that would have been, like, GG most likely. Because it should knock out both Pokemon. And then it's 4v3 with Incineroar. No Protect comes out from the Feeny, though. I wonder if Ban Double Edge can knock it out. It comes really damn close. And it's buried. Okay. That's a little bit frustrating, but it's okay. As it actually goes for the Leech Seed instead of a Heavy Slam, so I will survive, and it means it won't get a Beast Boost, which is nice. Incineroar actually avoids the Muddy Water, too, so a bunch of good fortune there. That actually is really quite nice for me, because now I just got a free switch in back out into Abomasnow. And a Flare Blitz should just obliterate Celesteela still. Yeah, the Muddy Water avoid, like, kind of unfortunate. I don't think I obviously needed it, but it just means I don't have to worry about, getting crit by it or an accuracy drop, which is probably even more scary. Okay. So we know both of these Pokemon have the potential to protect, but there's still 2 turns of Trick Room, and let's see who's potentially in the back. It's not like anything can take an Energy Ball that well. I do want to play aggressive this turn, though, expecting a switch out. Because if I could call it, that would be great. Just who would you bring in this? I don't think a Moongus. Or Landorus. I would think Gardevoir. Maybe it's better to just play it safe here, though. Yeah, I'm going to still play it safe this turn. Next turn is the last turn of Trick Room, so that's where if there's any room for aggression, maybe I go for it. Oh, my opponent just forfeits. Okay. I don't think maybe my opponent was just like, okay, there are 2 turns of Trick Room left. I can't beat the Abomasnow and the Incineroar. Like, I think I had that more or less on lock, especially with Mimikyu in the back, because I was in a position to pick up a double knockout. So even if you protect with one Pokemon, if you double protect, then I get a guaranteed knockout. If you protect with one, you have to switch out one the following turn, and I can cycle in Incineroar again, which just beats the Celesteela outright. But I didn't think that was a game that I had won 100%, so it's kind of anticlimactic, because I think I still would have had to make some like good plays to not choke it out in the end. But I guess it would have come down to who my opponent had in the back. If it was a Moongus, for example, then my opponent is pretty much screwed completely. Which would make some sense. Although, I guess if you have a Moongus, you could come in and Spore me on the last turn of Trick Room to deny me from attacking. But then my Abomasnow would knock out the Amoonguss, get some damage off against the Celesteela, and get Mimikyu back in. So actually, I don't know. Maybe it was Landorus. That would make some more sense. Point is, though, I don't think my opponent should have forfeited because that was not a game I had won at that moment. I still needed to make some good plays and some good predictions, I think, or just play safely. So, yeah, I wish I could have gone on the full way. But we do end up getting a couple of wins again. I don't know. I would have, once again, liked to feature Glaceon more because that game I did feature it. I did not play it well. And then Staraptor didn't really get a chance to make use as well. But maybe we'll run into some non-Incineroar teams in the future, as it is really quickly becoming the most popular Pokemon in the metagame. So I tried to make this an anti-meta team. I ended up using Incineroar on my own. And Incineroar just is so common right now. So maybe I'll try to replace it with something else. But it is really good on this team too. Anyway, that's going to be it for this one, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. As always, if you did, please show your support by leaving a like in the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Alright, peace.